My sister asked me what I wanted to do, and I said I was going to be an NFL player. She bust out laughing, ran out the door. I'm like, why not?
We've discussed plenty of bankruptcy cases, but none compare to Warren Sapp's. If going bankrupt wasn't enough trouble for the NFL star, he also got tangled in assault and domestic battery charges. Warren Sapp, born December 19, 1972, is a former NFL defensive tackle who played 13 seasons, mostly with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He won major awards in college with the Miami Hurricanes. However, his legal troubles outshone his career. On February 7, 2010, Sapp was arrested in South Florida and charged with domestic battery. He was in town as an analyst for the NFL Network's coverage of Super Bowl Live. Right after the arrest, the NFL Network canceled his appearance. However, on March 24th, the charges against him were dropped. On February 2, 2015, the day after Super Bowl Live, Sapp found himself in trouble again. He was arrested on suspicion of soliciting a prostitute and assault. The same day, the NFL Network announced that they had terminated his contract. However, by May 2015, the charges against Sapp were dismissed.
For sex at which she said no, and then you told her to leave?
No.
Okay. So then let's rewind then, because
In 2010, PNC Bank won a judgment of nearly $1 million against Sapp, and by December 2011, filed a monthly lien of $30,330 against his $45,000 paycheck from the NFL Network. Sapp also owed the IRS $853,003 for income from 2006 and $89,775 for 2010. Additionally, he was $876,000 behind on alimony and child support payments to his ex-wife. He had unpaid property taxes of $68,738 in Windermere and owed money to attorneys, friends, and even a speech therapist. On April 7, 2012, the Associated Press reported that Sapp had filed for bankruptcy to discharge debt from his failed businesses. In his Chapter 7 filings, Sapp claimed he had lost his University of Miami championship rings and his Buccaneer Super Bowl ring. His checking and savings accounts held less than $1,000. He reported no credit card debt and did not own any cars, but he owed National Car Rental $90,685 through his business, 99 LLC. Court documents showed Sapp's assets totaled $645 million, but his debts amounted to $6.7 million. His monthly income was reported to be $115,161. On November 1, 2012, Sapp's 10,000-square-foot house in Windermere was auctioned off and sold for $2.9 million. His career, too, was filled with controversy and drama. Before the 1995 NFL Draft, Sapp impressed everyone by running the fastest time for a defensive tackle in the 40-yard dash, clocking in at 4.69 seconds. Many thought he would be a top 5 or 10 pick, but things took a turn the night before the draft. Reports surfaced claiming Sapp had failed multiple drug tests for cocaine and marijuana. This caused many teams to pass on him. Eventually, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selected him 12th overall in the first round. The NFL later released a statement strongly denying these rumors. Sapp believed someone had deliberately tried to sabotage his chances in the draft. Sapp was almost immediately given the starting role as the right defensive tackle for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, a position he held throughout his 9-year stay with the team. Sapp thrived. His incredible combination of size and speed allowed him to disrupt opposing offenses, even when facing double or triple teams on the line. Sapp finished his rookie season with 27 tackles and 1 interception. He quickly became a key player for the Buccaneers, recording 51 tackles and 9 sacks in 1996, and then 58 tackles and 10.5 sacks in 1997. His outstanding performance earned him his first Pro Bowl selection in 1997, which was the beginning of a streak of 7 consecutive Pro Bowl appearances. In 1998, Sapp signed a contract extension worth $36 million over 6 years. His efforts were recognized in 1999 when he was honored as the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. In 2002, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers dominated the league with their defense and claimed victory in Super Bowl X against the Oakland Raiders. Sapp played a crucial role in their postseason journey, making 5 tackles and recording 2 sacks during those playoff games. Drama began rolling in uncontrollably. On November 24, 2002, at Raymond James Stadium, Sapp faced heavy criticism for a blindside hit on Chad Clifton of the Green Bay Packers. The incident occurred during a Buccaneers interception return, with Sapp hitting Clifton as he was moving downfield, away from the main action. The hit caused a serious pelvic injury that hospitalized Clifton for nearly a week. Afterward, Clifton struggled to walk without assistance for 5 weeks. The NFL Competition Committee responded in 2005 by introducing new rules against unnecessary roughness, which aimed to prevent hits like the one Sapp delivered to Clifton.
Clifton. Boy, launched himself on that one.
After the game, cameras caught Packers coach Mike Sherman approaching Sapp and telling him that was a cheap move. Sapp fired back angrily, shouting, "You want to talk tough? Suit up and come play." Later, Sapp called Sherman a lying, despicable person. "If I were younger and didn't have responsibilities, I'd have taught him a lesson right there on the field." Sherman later expressed disappointment, saying, "The way they joked around after the hit with a player lying injured just didn't sit right with me as a professional." Before a Monday Night Football game on December 23, 2002, at Raymond James Stadium, Sapp playfully skipped among the Pittsburgh Steelers during warm-ups. Sapp felt the NFL was singling him out unfairly, especially after he had been fined previously for a similar incident on another Monday night. "That's all this is about," said Sapp. "In my 9 years playing, no one's ever been fined for just talking to the refs. It's never happened before." Earlier, Steelers' Lee Flowers had mocked the Buccaneers, calling them paper champions. In 2003, during a Monday Night Football game against the Indianapolis Colts on October 6th, Sapp stirred controversy by skipping through and disrupting the Colts' stretching session during warm-ups. The game was highly anticipated due to the return of former coach Tony Dungy to Tampa, adding to the national interest. The Colts, despite trailing by 21 points in the final minutes, mounted a stunning comeback and defeated the Buccaneers 38-35 in overtime, marking a turning point for the defending champions. Just a week later, on October 12, 2003, before facing the Washington Redskins, Sapp accidentally bumped into an NFL referee while running onto the field. This incident led to a hefty $50,000 fine. Sapp reacted strongly, saying, "It's like being in a system where they tell you what to do, and if you don't listen, they punish you. They want to set an example."
Fence or nothing? Come on, man. We live in a world right now where you put a drone up. Hey, it ain't like they can stop you.
His career eventually ended due to his troubles. In 2004, Sapp was considering a $16 million offer from the Cincinnati Bengals, but on March 20th, he surprised many by announcing a bigger deal, a 7-year contract worth $36.6 million with the Oakland Raiders, the team he famously defeated in the Super Bowl just a year earlier. His first season with the Raiders saw him play all 16 games, switching between defensive end and tackle. He made 30 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and recovered 2 fumbles after shedding about 20 pounds before joining Oakland. In 2005, Sapp started strong with 29 tackles and 5 sacks in the first 10 games, but a shoulder injury sidelined him for the final 6 games of the season. Returning to top form in 2006, Sapp notched 10 sacks, 32 tackles, and forced a fumble. Before the 2007 season, he shed 49 pounds and recorded 37 tackles, 2 sacks, and forced 2 fumbles. On December 23, 2007, Sapp was ejected during a game against the Jacksonville Jaguars after a heated dispute with officials. It started when a misunderstanding led to penalties, and Sapp's intense reaction got him multiple unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and a hefty $75,000 fine. On January 3, 2008, Sapp made a decisive call to Raiders owner Al Davis, telling him over the phone that he was retiring. He later confirmed this on his website, QBKilla.com, with just 2 words: "I'm done." His retirement became official on March 4, 2008. That brings us to the end of the video. Make sure to subscribe if you already haven't, and while you are at it, make sure to drop a comment telling us who to cover next.